Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and I hope you have seen my last video where I have spoken about masters in Ireland and then followed by job or a career path. And today I'm gonna talk about a comment. So I got a comment, someone asking that I'm planning to do masters in primary teaching and confused between UK and Ireland, and is it easier to get sponsorship? And I think that's a really important question, and a lot of people might be in the same situation when they're applying for a master's abroad from India. So specifically, if I talk about that course, Masters in Primary Teaching, so for now, for the UK, I'm not the biggest expert, but from what I understand, what I have read and known talking to different people, that teaching is very structured there, and schools do provide sponsorship and they generally hire international teachers. So the sponsorship path is a bit straightforward. If you meet the requirement, they will sponsor you. But when it comes to Ireland, so they think differently, and in Ireland, getting a job or a sponsorship is strongly connected with the critical skills or the skills. It's called the critical skills occupancy list. Sorry, I have to cut that off because my doorbell rang. Okay. So I was talking about in Ireland, getting a job and a visa sponsorship is strongly connected with a thing called critical skill occupancy list, and this is basically a list of high demand job in the country, and government creates that, and if your role falls into that list, you have a higher chances of getting a work permit, and then staying long term becomes much more easier. Now there is another route through general employment permit, which is called general permit. So it is not likely for you that it's impossible to get a job is if it is not a critical skills, but realistically most of the people who have successfully gotten a job and sponsorship usually fall under a skilled category. So because if your skill set falls under a highly skilled job, then of course it is easier to get, as the name suggests. Now you need to emphasize on that I'm saying skill, I am not saying the course. Your course might fall under in that list for data analytics or something like that, but if you don't have a skill set, that is the bottom line, you won't get a job. So bear in mind that doing the course is completely different of you having a skill. Having said that, the whole visa system in Ireland and how it actually works is very detailed, so I will try to explain in my next video, but for now just understand how important it is to have, how it is important for someone who's coming to Ireland to do masters or planning to get a job after master, to understand the concept of critical skills. So now there are key points, like for example the comment I got about the primary teacher, masters in primary teaching, I'm just taking it as an example. That's a key example that where many students will come doing certain courses which doesn't fall under critical skills, and they don't have a knowledge, they never had a knowledge about that when they were back in India. That's why it's very crucial for people, those who are coming to Ireland and their aim is to get a job, is to look for something which falls under critical skills. And hence my main point, which I put forward in my last video, is that it's very important for you to evaluate your course, which course you're doing, and is that course is in demand. what that course led to, your masters in XYZ led to these job opportunities. So please be mindful of choosing your course or your master's program, because that and your skill set will be directly associated for you to getting a job or the critical skills job roles, because these are the two things which you should know before coming to Ireland. Now, what you should do before you choose any course, go and check your list. Go and check the list by yourself and look it on the official website, official sources. The key source is Department of Enterprise, Trade and Employment. And instead of searching the course name, you should search for the role you want to study. For example, business management. Don't search business management. Maybe you will end up doing business analytics or data management. Search all those keywords, because at the end of the day, if your goal is not just study, your goal is have a job here, have a experience, international experience in your career, or get a sponsorship and stay long term in Ireland, if that is the plan. So understanding things like critical skills early on can completely change how you choose your course and the overall your strategy of being in Ireland or abroad. So if you were deciding between UK or Ireland, so I would say just don't compare the universities. Well, they are the key component. If you are looking for great universities, might end up having loads of different experience if you are in a great university, but that's not the only thing. Compare the job market, check the sponsorship chances and the long-term opportunities. That what actually matters for you if you are someone who's looking for a job opportunity and staying here and working a year or two and then going back to India, or probably staying here for longer. Because if you don't know, if you will not do your homework and just rely on someone or a consultant, probably you will end up into lot of ambiguity when you will land here in Ireland. So I would say do your research. That's the key component. And then if you want me to make a video on the universities, the top list of universities or types of visas or sponsorships in Ireland, or how to switch the career strategy if you're coming from a different background in India, back in India, and you choosing a different background here, or anything else, I would happy to do that. And please subscribe, and I hope this will help, and I'll see you next time. Bye.